What's up? It's time for some Sound Euphonium Season 3, Episode 11. In the last episode, we had a fantastic speech from our girl Kumiko. I'm so proud of her. She got up in front of everyone. She spoke how she really felt. I thought it was fantastic. I loved that scene so much. I loved what it meant for her character. I loved how it changed the mood of the room. The only thing I'm still nervous about, and I mean, I think I've been nervous about this since day one of this character being in the show, but I'm still nervous about Mayu. Again, it's never her fault that I'm nervous about her. I guess I'm nervous for her, always, because in last episode, I was not 100% sure how to interpret the shot of her during that speech, because everyone else had like they're all smiling and they're all like, you know, everyone else is sort of getting on the same page. But with Mayu, she was like looking down and like not, it was difficult, right? Because it could either mean like that's relief leaving her body, you know, like she's actually sort of finally understanding and appreciating this moment, and it's like it's sort of an overwhelming moment for her. It could be that, or it could be there's still something simmering there. There's still something that feels unresolved for her. I don't know. But I mean, I guess we're going to jump into this. This show has some beautiful character work. I really like it. I mean, it's this sort of like argument stuff, this drama. I mean, I feel like it's really well written, and I feel like the discussions I've seen online of this have been like so in depth. A lot of people are diving really heavily into it. For me, especially for stuff like this, I don't like to majorly pick sides for characters. I like to just see how the characters handle them. I have hopes for characters and stuff, but I just want to see, you know, how they work it out among themselves. But I see, you know, people have some pretty aggressive stances on these characters. I know a lot of people have talked about how they are still unsatisfied with Reina's handling of the situation. I talked about it a little bit last episode, where like her side of things hasn't been resolved and may not get resolved. I said for me, I'm kind of fine with it. It's, to me, that's like not the point. Yeah, it's her doing something wrong and shitty like that. I can acknowledge that while also going, but you know, it's a it's a thing that like I don't think it's for me not the focus necessarily of these conversations and of this narrative and of like this storyline. Seems like it is for me revolving around Kumiko's growth and her changes and such. So that's kind of what I want to see mostly. Of course, if Reina does have like a nice scene where she properly apologizes, that would be amazing, and I'd love that. But I'm not coming into this episode expecting or anticipating that that's going to happen. To me, I feel like she's the sort of person who, in that speech, she bowed and apologized on, like, you know, on behalf of the senpais, just like Kumiko did. Like, she basically joined in on that speech. For me, I think that was her way of apologizing. Again, it's not a fantastic apology, but I think it works fine in the moment. So let's watch the episode and find out if any of these worries are founded, if any of them are going to come to fruition. I don't know. Let's see. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. I'm a small channel, so I could really use your help. Anything that you can do to help out these videos, please make sure to do so. And if you like One Piece, I have a channel called Gent Watches One Piece where you can go check out my reactions to that. But otherwise, let's jump into Season 3, Episode 11 of Sound Euphonium. Very nice. Very good job, guys. But you're seeing if it was a dud gold or whatever, right? Oh, I like the uniforms. Okay, moment of truth. Moment of truth. Yeah. I mean, it had to be us. Like, I don't feel like the series would have in this season not have let us go to the nationals. But great job. Mayu's expression was weird. I don't know how to feel.
すごい。あ、全国バージョン。かっこいいだろう。みんな言ってましたよ。今年は全国金貨持って。
That would be awesome.
震えるほど良かったって他の先輩も言ってました。カホ。
No, that's good. That's what
すみません。
Kumiko was fighting for that.
頑張ろうね。
Yeah.
ではまた。放課
Well,
後。
they'll still have one more set of auditions before nationals,
動
right?
揺していたレイナの音にまゆちゃんは完璧に合わせていた。滝先生はこうなると分かっていた
Well,
のだ。
there's a reason he's in charge.
ここよかったもんって。私も見ました。
Yeah, it's gotta be hard,
一昨
but
年の奇跡の演奏以上かもって。あ、
damn.
久美子先輩。久美子ちゃん。ありがとね。まゆちゃんのおかげで全国行けた。
Aw.
もちろん。
I still have
お疲れ様でした。気をつけて帰ってください。
still have a lot of nerves.
本番前のスピーチ、部長として立派でした。
でもあれ思ったことを言っただ
Yeah,
け
no,
で。
compliment her. That's
私は
good.
ああいう時、どうしても冷たい言い
Yes,
方
you
になっ
do.
てしまうところがあり、ここでする話ではないですね。
喜んでくれ
Aw.
て。
正直、最初はモチベーションを保てるか不安でした。
Damn, he's opening
毎
up.
年メンバーが変わる楽団で、
そう改めて言われると変ですよね。学校の吹奏楽って。
それはサイの河原で石を積んでいるようなものじゃない。
Wow. What an analogy. Oh, I liked that scene. That was great.
すぐ受験モードだよ。それ言ったらまだ進路も決まってないよ。ねえ、レイナちゃんはアメリカでしたっけ？
That's so
留
cute.
学ってこと？ごめんなさい。いや、いいけど。外国って一人で4等分でいいよね。いや、大きすぎでしょ。その方、これはこれで。うん。
Just cool animation on that pizza being pulled apart.
決まったら最初に言うつもりだった。
Aw, I think it's okay, Reina.
鎧塚先輩の大学来週あるって。先輩方も来るらしい。
Be kind of
いい
cool.
よ。
She doesn't know. She's in that weird in-between place. I think if they win nationals,
久美子、
she'll want to go.
今更だけど部長失格は言い過ぎた。
Oh, there we go.
突き放した自分が
Here
恥
we
ずかしくなっ
go.
た。ごめん。
She did it. I didn't think she was going
部
to.
長だって頑張っ知ってる。でも
Oh,
今の
I'm
私があ
proud
る
of
のは
her.
そのわがまま。 大好きのハグ。
That's so cute. As a person who always tells anime characters to hug. Oh. Oh.
関西大会を突破した
Oh, that was
喜び
one of
の
my
余韻に
favorite
浸る
scenes in
間
a
もなく
long time.
課題をクリアしておいてください。
Work on your
そ
issues.
れと全国2週間後の日曜日とします。
Oh gosh. I don't know. I still don't know what's gonna happen.
と久美子先輩にソリ吹いてほしいです。
Try your hardest, but don't let Mayu just give it up. You need to earn it, Kumiko.
レーナみたいに悔し涙を流せるくらいまで打ち込んでみよう。そう、今でも少しも変わらず、あの時のままだ。
Mayu's listening.
何？まゆちゃん、
You two gonna talk about something?
どうしたの？
Oh, please talk and have it be a good one.
私、やっぱり
No.
その方が部にとっていいから。
But people loved your
まゆ
song.
ちゃんがソリストに選ばれたのは、これまでの努力
People
の
were talking
証
about
だ
how
よ。
good it was.
いいよ、全然。
Oh, kanade.
私は誰かが嫌な思いをしたり、辛い目にあったりする
Oh,
のが
I
嫌なんだ。
understand Mayu so much though.
最後に高坂さんと一緒にソリを吹きたい。それが久美子ちゃんの本心でしょ。
But I think she wants to earn it still.
私の 本心じゃないよ。
Mm.
本心じゃない。
Oh. Well, that didn't
無視した方
resolve.
がいいですよ。
Kanade, you little shit.
盗み聞きは良くないよ。そんなことありません。
I
聞いてた
mean,
んでしょ。
kinda.
まゆちゃんは悩んでる。
You are kind of telling it like it is, as always, Kanade.
私がそうだったように。
Oh, that's true.
そうか。
Okay, so what's she gonna
大
do
丈夫だ
about
ったで
that?
しょ。私は良かったと思ってるよ。まゆちゃんで。
I like this girl. She's there for Mayu when she needs it. I really appreciate
て
it.
か、暮らし私で遊んでるでしょ。そんなことないよ。ソリが私から別の子になった。
Open up to someone.
上手くなって絶対取り返すぞ
Oh,
って
her
思う
voice.
けど、
Breaking a
なんて
bit.
いうか。まあ、大人になるってそういうことかもね。え？知らないけど。
Very cute.
何よ、その格好は中二病？あんたなんて小4でしょ。これ、まあまあ、お久しぶりです。
Wow, those are cool
本当に
styles.
久しぶりだね。何揉めてたんですか？
I love the suit.
バカにしてただけ。
What a cool choice.
バカになのに一緒に組んじゃうんですね。仲良しだからね。行こう。
Cute.
はい。
I really love that suit. That's great. Aww. This is nice to see. Man, they look so mature in these dresses and this hairstyle. And all the makeup.
想像しているのだろう。
Yeah.
髪で吹いている自分の姿。懐かしかった。あ、来た来た。こ
Hey! Aww.
っち
Oh, she's so sweet.
みんな生で聞けてよかったです。頑張って。そういや、
Aww.
お前ちゃんはどこに行くの？
She doesn't fucking know.
もし来年私が先輩と同じ大学に入ったら
I think she'd think that'd be awesome.
なんとも思わない。
Fair enough.
なんとも。
Well, I think she means it just makes.
そんな姿
Oh,
想
never
像
mind.
できない。
I was about to say the opposite. I was gonna say it just makes sense, but to her it actually doesn't.
レーナ、変わるよ。
Careful.
私、やっぱり音大には行かない。
Is that the decision she's sticking with?
わかった。
At least you know.
じゃあ、久美子とはこれで終わりにする。
I'm ending things with you.
前にも言ったでしょ。距離も離れて遠くなっていく。
That's the only, well, the main connection she feels between
私、
them.
久美
I don't think Reina understands friendship super
レ
well.
ーナらしい。レーナは特別だから。私使わらない。私の特別だから。
Oh.
もっと特別になってくる。ではこれよりオーディションを始める。
Oh shit. Next episode, auditions?
そ
Oh.
して
The next piece
次の
begins,
曲が
alright?
始まるのです。
Whew, next episode is going to be tense. I mean, this show makes me feel just immersed, and it makes me feel feelings. Like genuine, just straight feelings from start to finish. Those feelings can be happy or sad or scared, but a lot of the time it's like just a mild anxiety, which I think fits the themes of the show, especially right now, very well. Of like, you don't know where your future's gonna lie, you know, and there's just a lot of like, you know, oncoming. I don't know what's around the corner, and I'm worried about it at all times. But there was some great stuff in this episode. I think I should start by talking about the best thing in this episode, which is Reina's apology to Kumiko, which I really like because, as I said at the start of the video, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I was I said it's something that I would like, something that I think would be a great scene, but I really didn't think Reina would be able to bring herself to do that. Especially like after the situation is kind of resolved. I've talked about this before, I think in my Legend of Korra reactions, because in Legend of Korra reactions, I talked a lot about this sort of stuff because I love Legend of Korra and I would dive super heavily into the characters of that show after every episode. And a big thing I would talk about is like something I admired about Korra's character, despite being, you know, a hothead, and she tends to get caught up in emotion and like lash out at people quite a bit. And something that I admired about her character was, after a situation was said and done, regardless of if she ended up being kind of in the right or whether she was in the wrong or whatever, like no matter kind of what happened, she would like reflect on her behavior and apologize for it. And I believe throughout the series change because of it. Like I feel like those moments happened less and less as the series went on. And I was genuinely so proud of her by the end of that show. Oh, I'm gonna start crying if I talk too much about this. I was so proud of her by the end of the show because she genuinely improved from that stuff over time. Because I think when you, like, if you say something and then apologize a little bit later to like solve the issue, that's one thing, you know, like there's tension between you and then you apologize and that breaks the tension and fixes the problem. That's one thing. If you have a fight or whatever and then the problem is fixed and the tension is broken before you've apologized, it is very difficult to then afterwards apologize. Kumiko's speech last episode was the breaking of the tension. That, like, quote unquote solved the problem. And they were back on speaking terms and hanging out with each other terms, and Kumiko wasn't even really expecting anything from her. And like I think Kumiko had the same thoughts that I was, where like that's kind of who Reina is, and she's stubborn, and I know that about her, so yeah, I'm not expecting her to say anything about that. So I think she just thought they were gonna sweep it under the rug and move forward, because sometimes friends do that. It sucks, and I wish we could be better about it. But I've been on the receiving end and the giving end, whichever end makes sense. But I've been someone to, you know, sort of sweep my own behavior under the rug, and I've also been one to sweep someone else's behavior under the rug, and just we both just ignore it, and we know it happened and we're moving past it. You know, we just won't talk about it again. It's very easy to do that, because if the problem is solved, you kind of don't want to be like bringing it back up. And also, you know, apologizing's hard. And if you feel like you got away with it necessarily, there's a part of you that's like, well, I don't have to deal with that, the difficulty of apologizing, because you know, everything's solved. We're all good. But despite all of that, it was chewing up at Reina a bit, and she did apologize, and I'm very proud of that. And then if they wanted to make the scene any better for me, they did it by having Kumiko say, well, prove that you love me by giving me a hug. I love that, because I love hugs. I really love hugs. I love watching other people hug. I love hugging people. I hugged all my friends several times today. I love it. It's great. It's really good. I say all my friends, all the friends that I saw today, which is a lot of friends. I don't know, 6 or 7 people. I love hugging. Hugging's great. It's a comforting, wonderful expression of human emotion to one another. And I've always been of the opinion that anime characters need hugs way more than they give hugs. There's a lot of times in scenes where I'm watching a scene and I'm like, these characters need a hug right now, and they're not doing it. So Kumiko just straight up going, come on, give me a hug, is great. I love it. I liked that scene between Taki and Kumiko earlier as well. That was a really nice scene. And I also liked that he straight up just complimented Kumiko on her speech and said that was, exceptional. That was a great thing for a president to do. And he admitted his own flaws. He said, like, I tend to be too cold in those situations, which is true. Taki is not without flaw, and that is a big flaw of his, is he doesn't do an incredible job at fostering with love. He's not, that's what's super interesting about him, is he's not a mean guy by any stretch of the imagination. He's a nice guy, but he's also a strict teacher. He's both of those things. And sometimes when he's in teacher mode, he can't let his nice guy mode really shine through, because I think he feels like the teaching is what they need right now, but sometimes, and I think this goes into what, like that whole thing about the River Styx, you're putting rocks up on the River Styx and whatever, and then his wife saying that, like, don't forget the rocks are people, which is a big thing here. Like, it's very easy to think of, like, oh, we're if we put these pieces in this place, then everything will work out fine or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're also working with human beings. Sometimes they need love. Sometimes they need you to speak to them. Sometimes they need to be alone. It's difficult to know what they need, but that's how tough it is dealing with people. People are so different to one another, and they need different things, and it's your job as a teacher not just to put them in the position to succeed, but also find what they need at any given time and provide it to them, or put them in a place where they can get whatever they need, which is really difficult. I don't know how teachers, it's got to be an extremely difficult job. It's got to be extraordinarily difficult, and I have a lot of respect for the good teachers out there. I'm specifying the good teachers because I think it's an easy job to also do shittily. Like, if you want to be a shitty teacher, I think that's easy. I think I could go and be a shitty teacher. There are some things that I wouldn't even be able to be a shitty version of. Like, I couldn't be a shitty doctor. I couldn't be a good doctor, and I couldn't be a shitty doctor. I wouldn't make it past that cutoff, I couldn't be a shitty lawyer, but I could definitely be a shitty teacher. I feel like it'd be easy enough to just barely get the qualifications and get in somewhere and do a bad job and not care about my students and such. But the teachers who actually put in the work and then actually care about their students and get them to where they need to be and are balancing them nicely, those people are incredible and can genuinely change lives. I'm sure there's there are teachers who've sort of stuck with me in my mind and inspired me. I think the biggest thing I always think of when I think of people who taught me is I had a drama teacher named Matt, and I'd love to know what he's up to now, because he was the sort of person, he wasn't like a guy who was very online. He wasn't my school teacher. He was like my teacher for actual acting classes outside of school that I did. And I had him for 5 or 6 years or something. Like, I had him for a long time. A lot of my life was being taught by him. And there was nothing else like it. I'm sure I modeled a lot of my personality off of him, which is something I'm kind of only realizing now. But he was, a very active guy, cared a lot about people. I feel like he always knew the right thing to say. If people needed space, he would give it to them. If people were in a bad mood, he would get them in a good mood, or he would allow them to be in that bad mood. He felt like he was so wise and cared about all of us a lot. And there was sometimes there was, it was a drama school or a drama class, and there was sometimes drama happening among the students, and it never slowed him down. He managed to juggle all of that really well. Man, he was a great guy and a great teacher, and I don't know what's going on with him these days. I don't know where he is or what he's doing. I saw him one other time after I finished doing acting classes, and and you know, I chatted with him for a short time, but still, that was a long time ago at this point. That was 5 or 6 years ago. So yeah, no, but I love that man. If I could, you know, get this message to him, I'd want him to know he changed my life. So I similarly, you know, I feel like teachers like Taki, they can do a lot for people like Kumiko, just being there for her in these times, and when she does something like that, as the president, to give her the support she needs, to tell her she did a great job. Yeah, anyway, Reina's view of friendship is still not entirely formed properly. I think she still doesn't fully understand how friends work, which is understandable, I guess. She doesn't have that many of them. And I think that's where a lot of her like main problems are coming from, is that she is creating this scenario in her head, and Kumiko is just telling her like, look, we're friends. Doesn't matter what we're doing. We're friends. Like, I know that you think because right now everything we do together is music related, that's all we have. But if we're actually friends, and we are, what matters is each other. So she'll get there. She'll come around. And I think she already is. What's going to happen with Mayu? I don't know. I enjoyed what Kanade was saying about it in this episode, but I don't know how to resolve it based on that information. So let's find out next episode. Episode 12 is next. I can't wait. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.